The mystery of the missing fighter, Big Dave Koenig, has remained unsolved since February of 2020. Dave was 25 years old and had a disagreement with his parents the first week of February of 2020. He left, and his family has not seen him since. David Zachary Koenig, also known as Dave or Big D, was born on November 4th, 1994, to Rick and Tracy Koenig. He is the oldest of 3 children. His 27th birthday was last month, and his family wishes he would have come home to spend it with them. Dave has brown hair, brown eyes, stands 6 feet 6 inches tall, and weighs around 245 pounds. He has a very muscular build, and part of his middle finger on his left hand is missing. He's a mountain of a man who is frequently described as friendly, funny, loyal, and protective. Dave has numerous tattoos, including a skull with wings and the word Omerta, O-M-E-R-T-A, on his chest, a scorpion on his upper right arm at the shoulder, and the words "The Bullpen Mafia" on his abdomen. Dave was an MMA fighter before the lockdown. When he was last seen, Dave was wearing a black shirt, 2 silver necklaces, which he keeps on most of the time, and a baseball hat with the word "police" on it. His last verified location was the Peachtree Inn off Highway 76 in Branson, Missouri on February 8th, 2020, but he may have been sighted in Forsyth, Missouri on February 11th, 2020. This case always gets me in the feels. My heart breaks every time I read the posts his mom makes to the Mystery of the Missing Fighter Facebook group. She did a video collage of Dave using Ozzy Osbourne's song "Mama, I'm Coming Home" as the soundtrack, and I cried a lot. That is all his mother, Tracy Koenig, wants to hear. "Mama, I'm coming home." Dave, if you somehow hear this, or if anyone who knows Dave hears this, please know that it is time for him to go home. A few days before Dave went missing, his parents had practiced some tough love with him, and they told Dave that he couldn't come home until he got his act together. His mom now believes that Dave may have felt abandoned by them. After the argument, Dave went to stay a few days at the Peachtree Inn. He was friends with the owner. Now his parents want him to know they want him back. They never thought the argument would be the last time that they would speak to him in nearly 23 months. On the evening of February 7th, Dave messaged a couple of friends on Facebook saying he was in trouble and asking for help. Neither of his friends were able to come over and meet him at the time. One lived out of state and the other was home alone with his 2-year-old without a car. Dave did not seem to be afraid. He just stated that he was in some trouble. He thought he might need some help. He needed a ride, and he said he needed to keep his hands free. He sent the messages through Facebook because he did not have an active cellular account. He could only connect his phone to the internet through Wi-Fi. His friends both messaged him back on February 8th, but Dave never responded. Authorities believe Dave may have been in Forsyth, Missouri on February 11th, but they do not have solid proof of that. Dave did not contact his family when he needed help. There were hard feelings. His family did not learn of him wanting help until after they reported him missing, as they did not realize that he was missing. They thought he was just blowing off steam because of the argument. They were not surprised to not hear from him for a few weeks. He had done that before. In early March of 2020, his family realized that this time was different. He had gone longer without contacting them than he ever had before. They began contacting people asking when they last heard from Dave. When it became apparent that no one they knew had seen him since early February, his parents reported him missing. By the time the investigation began, Dave's trail had pretty much gone cold. The authorities are keeping the case open, but without new leads, there isn't much they can do. If you know anything about Dave's movements and location after February 8th, 2020, please call the Branson Police Department. Dave's family is never giving up looking for him. They want answers, and they will not stop until they get them. They work tirelessly to keep Dave's story alive. They have plastered Branson and surrounding areas with missing person posters. They have some billboards put up. They give interviews and have hired a private investigator. Someone, somewhere, knows what happened to Dave Koenig. It is time to do the right thing. His family deserves to know whether Dave is still alive. If you have any information, please contact the Branson Police, 417-334-3300. Prayers that Dave makes it home. Thanks for watching Another Day in the Car with Jules.